Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Allison and we're thrilled to kick off another info session, this time spotlighting Air Transat, one of Canada's most trusted leisure airlines. Whether you're planning your next vacation or simply want to learn more about what flying with Air Transat is really like, you won't want to miss this. So let's dive in. Welcome. We are joined today by Laura Albro. We're very happy to have you here. Thank you so much. And we have a couple of things to ask you and hope we can learn a bit more about Air Transat, and thank you for chatting with us.
Excited.
Okay, so can you briefly introduce Air Transat to our viewers, anybody who hasn't traveled with Air Transat before?
Absolutely. So for those of you that haven't, and hopefully that number will decrease as time goes on, but Air Transat is a scheduled airline. We are an airline that has won the world's best leisure airline for 7 years. So when you fly Air Transat, you're going to be met with pleasant, happy, satisfied cabin crew, new aircraft, and comfort, and a nice, smooth experience.
Okay, what do you think makes Air Transat truly stand out from other airlines?
Well, first of all, we did touch on the leisure airline, so I think that's probably a nice place to start. We don't get bogged down by trying to be all things to all people. We're not an airline that is completely corporate focused. Our mandate is travel moves us. So it's an airline that is focusing on comfort, on welcoming, on getting people to their destinations safely, on time, having a nice experience, and going to their destination for whatever the reason is, be it business, be it visiting their family, going on that once-in-a-lifetime adventure, or just chilling out at the beach. So it is a leisure experience.
Perfect. And in your experience, what's something about Air Transat that really surprises first-time flyers the most?
I think, first of all, the pleasantness of the crew. Mm-hmm. When I speak to the cabin crew when I'm flying for work or for pleasure, the number of them that have been there for so many years, you talk to them and like, oh, I've been there for 30 years. I've been flying, I've only been flying for 10. So it's a real sense of community. It is a really nice experience as well that people, I don't think they know what to expect, but we're talking about nice 321 neo-LR, so nice new aircraft. And the fact that we are an international airline. So I think they're surprised about the vast network that we have. We're not just a South and a Europe, we're everything in between.
Right, so all the destinations, there's way more than you think people expect.
Absolutely, and growing all the time.
Wow, perfect. And when you step on board to a flight, an Air Transat flight, what kind of experience can a traveler expect with you?
So there are two distinct cabins in the aircraft. So first of all, it's nice because you get in and you get that sense of I'm going on a journey. It's not just a mode of transport to get you from point A to point B. So touching again on the crew, they're happy, they're welcoming, they're warm. They'll help you to, locate your bags ahead, help you with your children. But also when you get on board and you're flying them, the seats are comfortable. They do have the space. We do have the seat back videos. The aircraft that we're using, because they're newer aircraft, the cabin noise is 50% less. And the fact as well that we have, I guess what you'd call it mood lighting. So it's lighting that actually adjusts as you're traveling to cut the effects of jet lag.
Wow, that is a really technical detail that I think makes a really big difference. In terms of food and beverage options, what can people expect when they come on board?
So depending on the cabin that you're traveling, so again, we talked about two distinct cabins. You've got your economy and then you have your club class. And depending on where we're traveling. So let's say, for example, we are going to Gay Paris. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to anywhere in the transatlantic, there's a complimentary hot meal. You've got a choice of 2 in economy. In in our club class, you have a choice of 3. And of course, you've got a complimentary glass of wine in economy. You have a snack as well, and beverages. But then also, if you're going south, if we want to look at both areas, south is buy on board for it. So you have the choices, and you can see what you've got beforehand that you can purchase. And if you're going again, if we go back to Europe, you can pre-order as well, and there are more choices. So if you wanted, you're really excited about your holiday, you can go online, and up to 72 hours before departure, you can pre-order your meal as well.
Does this also count for people who have dietary restrictions?
Yeah, so there's 13 different dietary requirements that we do, and it's things like gluten-free, it could be vegetarian, you could have a Hindu meal, there's diabetic, there's all the IATA regulated meal types are available for pre-order.
Okay, perfect. So anybody traveling with dietary restrictions will have no problems.
No problem. If they're going to transatlantic, because that's where you can pre-order your meals. If you're going buy on board, then you can look at the selection that you can purchase beforehand.
Okay, so there's still quite a few options. Okay, perfect. What onboard upgrades or services can make a big difference for people who want to have a more comfortable journey?
So there's a few that you can choose from. First of all, we talked about the club class, which is our hybrid between premium economy and a business class. So that is your ultimate upgrade. But if the budget, and let's keep in mind that is, it's still quite economical, but if your budget doesn't quite get you there, but you still want to have some perks, there are things like seat selection if you want to get something with more leg room. If you want to get front of cabin, you could do what we call Option Plus, which is another product that we have that will give you seat selection, it'll give you baggage as well, priority boarding. So there's all of those. Plus there's also Kids Club, which is free. And that gives you seat selection as well, but it also, for the kiddies, 2 to 11, it gives them a nice little kit, some activities. We have kids meals as well. So there's a number of things that don't have to break the budget to make the journey even more special for you.
That's really special that people who travel with families don't need to worry about bringing their kids.
Absolutely. We try and keep that all in mind to make it, it's again, you want it to be an experience. You want that to be part of your holiday, not just a means of getting there. So we're trying to do as much as we can to make that an enjoyable experience for them.
So people with young kids will be well taken care of as well.
Absolutely.
That's really special. Does Air Transat offer any lounge access or partner lounges?
So it depends on the type of fare you're on, and it depends on the airport, but there are options for that depending on what your loyalty program is. But there are options for that, especially if you're looking at club class and things like Toronto, Montreal. But here's a little teaser. There will be a loyalty program coming out as well. So can't say exactly what that'll include, but that might be a box that we'd like to tick.
Yeah, that's great. And do you have any, personally, do you have any insider tips for people who are traveling through the airport of how to kind of get around a bit easier?
I guess there's a few things. First of all, give yourself time. There's nothing more stressful in starting on a journey when you get there just when you think the gates are going to close, because that just, gets your heart rate going, and it's not a good way to start your vacation. So put that in the top of your list. Give yourself 3 hours before so you can get there. You can get to the gate. You can relax, have a coffee, make sure that you're just relaxed and ready to travel. Make sure your documentation is up to date. You don't want to get to the airport and, oh gosh, I've got an expired passport. I don't have a visa. So get those things prepared and have them where they are. Don't pack your passport in your checked bag, because guess what, you're going to need it. So almost give yourself a little checklist. Get there on time. Have I got my passport? Have I got my visa? Where is it? Don't rely on someone else to have it. So just, give yourself a little bit of time and a little bit of grace and make that part of your vacation as well.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much. And what are some of Air Transat's most popular routes and destinations right now?
Gosh, I guess it depends where you're going and why. Paris is always a big one for us. And of course, London. Peru is getting very, very interesting as well. Our big sellers, of course, Cancun, Punta Cana. but let's look at some of the new places as well. So a lot of new destinations, as I said, there's 14 new destinations, and I'll just briefly touch on a few of them. So we talked about newish, things like Berlin that we started, Lima that we started, but new ones, Istanbul, Rio, Agadir, Georgetown in Guyana, Valencia in Spain, Dakar, Accra. So it's crazy new destinations that people would not have thought it would be a Transat destination. So guess what? We are really an international airline.
Perfect. And in terms of accessibility, how do people who want to fly with Air Transat, how should they feel about needing extra accommodations or any accessibility issues?
So not an issue with us. Of course, you can do your wheelchair requests as well. So we have both of those, the two different types of wheelchairs, because we understand that people, again, are traveling for different reasons. And so they might have different mobility issues or pets in cabin and that type of thing as well. They may have that issue as well. They need to have that pet with them. They're going long stay to Portugal, for example. So we also have, assistance on board as well, assistance at the airport. So we cater for, all kinds of needs.
Right. And could you elaborate any more on what it's like to bring a pet on board with Air Transat?
So it depends on, of course, on the size. So we have pet in cabin, and of course, your agent can check that ahead of time so that you don't lead to disappointment if you've made your flights and then there aren't enough spaces. So let's, again, when we're talking about how do you make this as seamless and smooth a journey as possible. So there are a number, I think it's up to 10 kilos as well as far as the size goes. And then, of course, we do have pets and cargo as well. My suggestion would be go onto the Air Transat website, the consumer website, airtransat.com. And there's a whole set of information because it depends where you're traveling to. Some countries have restrictions as to what you can and can't do. So always check that first. And then, yes, we do both.
And what steps is Air Transat taking in terms of sustainability and responsible travel?
So it's actually one of our pillars as well, sustainability. So it is something that is a core value for Transat. And there's a couple of things. First of all, we have Travel Life certification. We're the first large travel company globally to get this certification. So that is something that you need to continue to achieve as well. It's not a one-stop deal. The aircraft that we select as well to make sure that they are the most fuel efficient that's available. And then when we're looking at our destinations as well, the partners, if we're talking about from a land component, the partners that we're working with, they also have to have a sustainability plan as well, so that we're all working together to do our bit.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. Do you have a message for any TripToGo travelers who are looking to travel with Air Transat?
We welcome you on board. I think we touched on the service that you get when you come on board with us. Nice, friendly staff, comfortable flights, the lighting, the fact that it is affordable as well, and I guess the scope of our destinations as well. So I would say next time you're looking to travel, check us out, see if we're there. I'm sure that you'll be excited and you won't be disappointed.
Well, thank you so much, Laura, for answering all of our questions today. We really appreciate you sitting down with us, and we look forward to traveling with Air Transat again soon.
Perfect, thank you. Welcome on board.
More frustrated. It's truly a pleasure learning more about Air Transat and giving you a closer look at what you can expect when flying with one of Canada's leading leisure airlines to incredible destinations across Europe, the Caribbean, and beyond. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to follow us on our social media channels for more travel stories, tips, and upcoming info sessions. See you again on our next one.